Good day, everybody. Today is 20th of June, 2025. Igbo Kwenu, Igbo Kwenu, Kwesueno. I want to talk a little bit about our brothers and sisters in Southeast. If you are very conversant to social media, maybe probably since 2015 till now, you notice that the only tribe that taboos other tribe the most on social media are our Igbo brothers and sisters. They abuse Buhari for 8 years. They started abusing Shiwaju Bola Tinubu before the primaries. After he won the primary, and even before and after the general election in 2023, and even till now. That is not where I'm going. There is a book that was just released by some writers who call themselves historians in Igbo land. I understand the books are now being used in secondary schools in Igbo land, wherein the writers manufacture lies by saying that they were originators of Ile-Ife, but they were the first settlers in Ile-Ife, that they were driven away from Ile-Ife by our forefathers. It is very unfortunate that there has never been any history book that linked the Igbo tribe that now call themselves Igbo. They used to be known as Igbo tribe. Maybe in the last 20 years, they started calling themselves 20 or 50 years Ibos. They used to be Ibos. So there is no history book that linked them. Not any Igbo history book that was written 50, 100 years ago, or any Yoruba history book that was written 100 years ago. There is no history book that link any Igbo people to being driven away from Ile-Ife. Even some of those people, some of those history books that we read in those days that says Yoruba came from Mecca, Oduduwa came from Mecca, they are all fallacy, because our DNA do not match the Arabian DNA. We are not related in any form. Those are just frictions. They are all part of lies. So it is very unfortunate that the Igbo people can manufacture any kind of lies. That is very unfortunate that some people will just wake up overnight and cook up lies from the pits of hell to claim that they originated, that they were the first set of people to live in Ile-Ife before they were driven away. If you go back to history, Ile-Ife has been existing for thousands of years. Even in the book that was said to be the book that was written by Herodotus some 2,500 years ago, before the birth of Jesus Christ, Ile-Ife was mentioned as the first, one of the first five cities in Africa. Ile-Ife was one of the first 5 cities in Africa. It was mentioned on that book that was written before the birth of Jesus Christ. These jesters who are Ibos, who wrote this book, this their newfound love, this their new book, they didn't mention whether it was before Herodotus wrote this book that they were driven from Ile-Ife. In some instances, the Ibos claim that they are from Israel. We don't know whether when they were driven away from Israel, maybe they are the Philistines. Maybe they came to Ile-Ife, or from Ilefe. We now drove them away from Ilefe. Or they were first of all in Ilefe before we drove them away to the Jewish land, and from Jewish land they now came back to where they are today. It is very unfortunate that they can lie on anything. As far as I'm concerned, Yorubas are very accommodating. We love the Ibos more than the Ibos love us. Two prominent Yorubas wasted their lives because of their love for Igbo. The first of them is Kone Banjo. During the Civil War, Kone Banjo fought. Before the advent of the Civil War, he was arrested to have been involved in the first coup. And when the first coup failed, Aguiyi-Ironsi refused to release him. Even after he was acquitted, Aguiyi-Ironsi refused to release him when the coup failed. Aguiyi-Ironsi left him in detention, maybe for personal reason, I don't know. And when the revenge coup occurred, when General Theophilus Danjuma, Babangida, Buhari, and others organized the revenge coup, where a lot of Igbo officers were murdered, Colonel Banjo was still left in prison in Southeast. And when Ojukwu seceded, unfortunately for Colonel Banjo, he was still in the East, and Ojukwu released him. And there was an agreement between him and Ojukwu, who was his colleague in the army, and he decided to fight on behalf of Biafra, even being a Yoruba man. And in the process, he was supposed to go through Ore to come and take over Lagos. And along the line, Colonel Banjo realized that it wasn't visible. He couldn't do it. That it wasn't visible. What did the Ojukwu do? Ojukwu arranged a criminal coup against him, that he was going to overthrow. He was one of those that wanted to overthrow him. Colonel Banjo, Ifeanyi, and others were executed by Ojukwu. And the second person is Adekunle Fajuyi. When the General Theophilus Danjuma decided, Theophilus Danjuma and others decided to carry out the revenge coup of July 1966. Adekunle Fajuyi was the governor of Old Western region then. General Aguiyi-Ironsi came visiting, and Theophilus Danjuma, Murtala Muhammad, Buhari, Babangida, and others decided to use that opportunity to carry out the revenge coup. When they came to Agodi, where the governor's house was then, as it was called, Theophilus Danjuma told Adekunle Fajuyi that they were not there for him. They were there for the head of state, Aguiyi-Ironsi. Adekunle Fajuyi told them that wherever they wanted to take his visitor to, they should take him along. They decided to finish him with the visitor, the late head of state, Aguiyi-Ironsi. But today, the Ibos are always on social media telling us that Yorubas hate them, Yorubas don't love them, Yorubas this, Yorubas that. If you are very conversant with whatever happens on social media, you will notice that they are the most people that abuse other tribe most. They love to abuse other tribe. Maybe because of what their leaders have, the lies their leaders have told them. Even those that were not even born before Nigeria's Civil War. Even some of them did not even bother to read any book. There are a lot of books about Nigerian Civil War, Both no, a lot of them do not bother to read Nigerian, don't read any book. They just listen to whatever story, cook up story anybody tells them. But today now, some idiots from the corner of their rooms have written history books telling us that they were the first settlers in Ile-Ife before they were driven out of Ile-Ife. What rubbish. What nonsense. I was listening to Dele Farotimi. He said, Obasanjo said that these Igbo people, that we must work with them. Are these Igbo ready to work with other tribes? For us to be able to move Nigeria forward, we must be ready to work with one another. We must be ready to work against the common enemies. Who are our common enemies? The politicians, the Igbo politicians, the Yoruba politicians, the Hausa politicians, the Fulani politicians. They are the common enemies. When they want to steal, they don't fight. When they want to embezzle, they don't fight. There is no disagreement when they want to embezzle. An average politician in Yoruba land is not different from an average politician in Igbo land. This is what an ordinary Igbo person must realize. This is what an ordinary Yoruba person must realize. Instead of peddling rumors, this kind of book can cause a lot of disaffection, which it has already caused a lot of disaffections among the Ibos and the Yorubas. There is nowhere in history where it is stated that the Ibos were the first set of people to live in Ile-Ife. That means all the people who are called Yoruba today originated from Ibos. Maybe that's what they are trying to drive at. It's the same Igbo that today they will say they are from Israel. You guys are not from Israel again. Maybe tomorrow you say you are from Russia. Or you say, tell us tomorrow that you are the first settlers in the United States of America. Huh? I've read a lot of other write-up where some people said Obafemi Awolowo betrayed them. How? How? In the first general election in this country, Nnamdi Azikiwe party came first. Obafemi Awolowo's party came second. While Ahmadu Bello's party came third. Because we were running a parliamentary system, the Nnamdi Azikiwe's party couldn't form a government. It must merge. Then Obafemi Awolowo decided to go have a discussion with Nnamdi Azikiwe. They met in Enugu. Nnamdi Azikiwe was supposed to be the prime minister. Why Obafemi Awolowo decided they agreed to become the deputy prime minister. They were in Enugu to formalize the agreement. Obafemi Awolowo and his team, with Abraham Abdesanya, Pa Rewani, and others, Pa Yobanjo, they were waiting in Enugu when they heard on radio that Nnamdi Azikiwe was in Kaduna to sign an agreement with Tafawa Balewa team, wherein Nnamdi Azikiwe accepted to be a puppet, a ceremonial president, while Tafawa Balewa became agreed to be the prime minister. Whose party was third? Is that who betrayed who? It was Nnamdi Azikiwe that betrayed Awolowo. Awolowo, they have no other choice than to leave Enugu with the next available flight, leave Enugu to Ibadan. Today, they are always telling us Awolowo betrayed them. How did Awolowo betray you guys? The problem we are in Nigeria today, yes, I agree that we must work together. But the trouble we are facing today as a country was caused by General Guyi. Regional government was the best for this country. Aguirosi, after taking over, when he even refused to punish the offenders, the coup plotters, after taking over the coup, he left the coup plotter in a different kind of detention without prosecuting them. He decided to turn Nigeria to a unitary system. That regional government that you don't under that as a that Aguirosi council were being the best for this country. Every region of this country was prospering, and when the Mimunotus took over, the Gowon of this world, what did they do? Because they realized Gowon was happened to be a minority from the north. What did they do? Because they did not realize that it was beneficial for them. Today, we are all suffering it. If Aguirosi did not cancel regional government, Nigeria will be better off today. We will be better off today because every region was growing according to its own pace. But today, see where we find ourselves. See where we find ourselves. Aguirosi originated our problem. If he had left regional government as he met it, it would have been better for us. But today, Nigeria is not run on merit. Because of that, when somebody from Ukos and Fulani from the north can score 100 marks in JAMB and enter university, while somebody from the south that scored 300 will not be able to enter university. And at the same time, both of them, when somebody who got 100 marks over 300 enter university, the same person that got 300, by the time they all graduate, they go to the same market. They go to the same job market. Even the person that got 100 marks because of one useless quota system will be able to get a federal appointment where he will become redundant, where he will not be able to use his brain. This is the result in Nigeria today, because nothing was. There is nothing like merit. Yes, I agree with whatever the Pharaoh meeting said. Whatever he said Obafemi was mentioned, that we must work together. Are the Ibos ready to work with other tribes? That's the problem. They are not ready to work with other tribes because the way they thought, the way they behave to other tribes, the way they see other tribes as nonsensical. The Ibos must change their attitude. They must change their behavior. They must change their character. If we all change our behavior, we all change our characters, we will be able to move Nigeria forward. We will be able to face our common enemies. Who are the politicians? The politicians are our common enemies. They want to steal what they don't need and what they need. Whether you are an Igbo politician, Yoruba politician, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What should be paramount should be the welfare of our people. Today, our people are suffering. But the politicians everybody is having to the bank. Yeah, at the detriment of the people. We must be able to sit down to talk. It's better to talk than to war. Thank you so much.